Paul, what went wrong today?
Look, I think from our point of view, we've been outplayed. From my point of view, I felt like we started pretty well with the ball, but they came at us hard, and fair play to them. They played some really good shots. That opening period of time, that first 10 overs, they really took us on, which was a fair play to them. And I think from our point of view, we got ourselves really well back into the game, and that period between 10 overs and into maybe even to 40 overs into the side, we did a great job with Leachy and some of the other guys to drag us back into a position where at halfway we knew it was going to be tough, but we felt like there was there or thereabouts for us from a chase point of view, and then just never really managed to get a stranglehold within the game. I think trying to adapt to that surface and what was going to give us success on that wicket, found it difficult, and sometimes when you do that you lose wickets, and once we started to lose wickets it became harder and harder on that surface.
Did the wicket change at all? Did it become more difficult during the course of the day? It looked pretty easy when Worcestershire were putting on 85 for the first wicket.
Yeah, I think I don't think it changed too much. I think the lengths that you were able to bowl, you had to be brave with your shot play, and I think as soon as you got a little bit of a stranglehold from a bowling point of view, it was potentially it could be hard out there because the ball did nip around at times. But I don't think there was anything that changed dramatically through the day. I think that, like I said, they just outplayed us and maybe bowled through those periods really nicely when we were under pressure, which didn't allow us to get away again.
Now, looking at the campaign as a whole, you must be very pleased with the way it's gone, to have reached the semi-final with a very young side who've really overperformed during the course of the campaign.
Look, I think from my point of view, overperformed probably. I'm expecting these guys to do this now. I think last year was a kind of step forward for us, and I think from my point of view, we came into this competition expecting to win, and that's the biggest praise I could give this group, is that we used to be in a position where we were looking to compete in games, and now we're in a position where we're expected to win, we're expected to get to knockout cricket, and we're expected to get to finals, which is absolutely where this group should be, regardless of age and regardless of ability. This is the sort of arena they should be playing in, and they'll be much better for it. We've been able to blend some opportunity with some guys that have played a lot of cricket as well. So I think as a whole on the campaign, people always talk about being proud. I'm very proud of this group in terms of how they've stood up and how they've played.
What's pleased you most about the performance over the whole campaign?
I've been pleased with how brave the guys have been at times, because it's not easy to be out there at such a young age to be able to go and do some of those things. The partnerships, I'm pleased with how much these guys are hurting up there at the moment, because that shows how invested they are in the competition, the investment, how much everyone's given to it, and the fact that everyone stood up individually over the course of the competition. I think that's been a real pleasure to be able to watch. At different points people have been putting their hands up with different skills. I won't single out anyone because I don't think that does anything fair to the whole group, because I think at times they've all shown that they deserve to be out there competing at this level, but also they've put in those performances.
Somerset losing 8 players to the 100, and then with the development side, if you like, reaching the semi-final, it shows the tremendous strength in depth that Somerset cricket has.
Yeah, we have a lot of strength in depth. We've got a lot of competition for places, and that leaves the club in a great position. For sure that it can at times look like that from the outside, that you're fielding development, but I wouldn't put that in that terms. I think, like I've said, we're expected to compete in this competition. The side that we put out has been the same. We know this going into the competition, has been for the last 5 years under myself. Like, we're always in this position. So I think the guys that go out there are well within their capabilities to be able to compete in this competition, and we've shown that, but unfortunately weren't able to show that today.
Overriding emotion, disappointment obviously today, but you must be reasonably happy with the way the thing's gone, if you can put your immediate disappointment to one side.
Yeah, look, I think it's always difficult you're extremely frustrated, you're extremely gutted for the guys mostly, not for yourself, I think, or from the club's point of view, more so because of how much it means to them. But yeah, for sure, there's been so many things that I've been so happy for the guys. Some of those performances we put in at home, where we've won in front of sellout crowds for the first time, that this competition's been in that place. I think the fact that we've got those sort of people coming and those sort of numbers of people coming to watch us at home and just being well supported has been one of the best things from my point of view. And having fielded a side of full academy and pathway players, I think that's another thing that we should be extremely grateful for, but also proud of, and winning those games as well. So yeah, for sure, I won't get my head around it quite yet in terms of being pleased, because I want to be disappointed, I want to be gutted, because I think that's where we need to be. But yeah, overall I think we want to be happy with some stuff.